Deep within my heart I feel voices whispering to me words that I can't understand, meanings I must clearly hear, calling me to follow close, lest I leave myself behind, calling me to walk into evening shadows one more time. So I leave my boats behind, leave them on familiar shore, set my heart upon the deep, follow you again, my Lord. So I leave my boats behind, leave them on familiar shore, set my heart upon the deep, follow you again, my Lord.
Hello and welcome to this special program, and it's good to be with Reverend Sister Elizabeth. Greetings and welcome, Sister.
Thank you, brother.
Being under COVID-19 and having observed social distancing, we are going to take off our nose mask so that our voice may be clear. Let us start our conversation by telling us who you are.
I'm Sister Elizabeth Mutegi from the congregation of the Franciscan Missionary Sisters of Assisi. I'm a nurse working at the Marist University Clinic. This is my second year now working here.
Oh, that is interesting. So, God calls individual to a life of love, communion, and fullness. How did you discover your call to be a sister?
Just as you said, God has His own ways of calling. It's like God, everything happens in our life for the good. I discovered my vocation through some challenges with my sicknesses. This is because when I was young, I used to be sick quite often. And during the time of my sickness, my parents were taking me to a dispensary run by the sisters in most cases. Every time I went, these sisters were attending to me with a lot of care, a lot of love, a lot of tenderness. And it's from this then I was telling my parents, when I grow up and finish school, I would like to be one like these ones, because of the love that they are showing, not just treating me, but treating me with a lot of love. And in fact, my parents were telling me, these are sisters, they have studied, they have been trained as nurses and as doctors. So if you want to become one of them, you need to be educated. And I was telling them, yes, I would like to be educated and just become like one of them. So in short, that's how I discovered my vocation. And because after I completed my school, I even told my parents, remember, I said I wanted to be like one of them. By the time I completed, I had known who the sisters were. So that's how I decided to join the sisterhood. And I can say it's through sickness that I discovered my vocation.
You have said it very well. No, each individual has his own way of discovering, either in a negative way or positive side. It is possible, as you shared to us, that you discovered through the sickness. There is a scholar known as John Maxwell in America said the success of a person is not the number of people who serve him, but the number of people he is able to save. Can you tell us your experience in this Marist National University College? As you have been working here almost 2 years, you have a quite enough experience to count on you.
What I can share about my experience here in Marist for the last 2 years, I have had both challenging and life-giving experiences. You see, and where I'm working from, like this clinic, I've had a chance of interacting with different people here in the college. The students, at times they come when they are sick. Sometimes they would come even for some health advices. They share their life experiences. They share the challenges that they are going through in life. And in most of the times, I've tried to listen to them, to guide them, and to help them through their life experience. And a number of them comes to say, "Sister, what you've shared with me has helped me, is helping me, and this gives me," becomes like also a life-giving. I have a chance also to interact with the staff members, both teaching and non-teaching staff. Some, of course, in their sicknesses as well, others just in their life experience sharings, and even the brothers themselves who are the students or even the staff, and the sisters, those who are working and as well studying here. This sharing, the exchange of sharing life experiences, it doesn't only, I can't say it only helps those people that come to me, but it becomes also life-giving to me. It strengthens me as a human being, and even as in my religious life and in my profession as well. And at times also something that gives me life, like like it's a place that people also come when they are sick. When somebody explains his or her sickness or a health problem, and I help out when this person comes to say, "I'm okay, I feel better, I appreciate." This also gives, it's life giving, and gives me also the motivation to go on as well.
That is interesting to hear how the experience has been life-giving. It reminded me one of quotes mentioned by Pope Francis. I quote, he said, "Consecrated life is about life, not survival." And as he said it there, it has become life-giving. So far, have you met with any young lady who want to join sisterhood since you ever start working in this Marist National University College?
So far, I've got one who shared, a girl who shared. She told me she's trying to discern her vocation. She comes to ask, and sometimes she comes to ask you the requirements, what is needed, and though she says she's still discerning, she has not yet decided whether she wants to come to join or not, but she's discerning her vocation. And there is even another youth, a young man as well. He should be in the second year now. He also shares with me that he would like to become either a priest or a brother when he finishes, but he wants to finish his university studies first. So he has not yet made his decision. But once in a while he comes to share his experiences, his desires. So those are the two I can say. They have come specifically asking the guidance on how to join religious or consecrated life.
That is very good. We hope that in the future they will join for sure. It's all in discernment that we discover we are called. Yeah, Mother Teresa is one of the figure in Catholic Church, is the saint now. She said that being faithful in small things, it is in them that your strength lies. Be faithful in small things because it is where your strength lies. So far, now what is your greatest strength in this work you are serving in the Marist University College?
The greatest strength I can say, one of them I can say is a teamwork. Here in Marist, you find that both the students, the staff, both in teaching and teaching, you find that almost everyone has that family spirit. Even as we work, as you share, And you see the interesting things like where we even sit to arrange for the bursary funds for the needy students, sometimes to assist even like the material needs for some of the students who are struggling. Maybe some of them the fee is paid, but then the food, the accommodations, and you find that anytime such a thing is announced or talked about, everybody, you hear the student has paid this, the lecturers or the other teaching and teaching staffs are ready to support, ready to help. And even once in a while, as we sit to share either with one, with two, you hear everybody with the intention of making Marist a better place, a better institution, a better home. And this gives me the strength to say, if maybe the lay people who are here, people have found they really own the institution, it's a kind of strength. Another strength I find, like when, as I was saying earlier before, maybe people come with their challenges in life, maybe in health, they are sick. You give the treatment required, you give the kind of advice that is required, and somebody comes to say, thank you, sister, from the medicine you gave me, I feel better, I have recovered. From the piece of advice you gave me, now I feel better, I'm facing life in a more positive way. And this gives me the kind of strength to say, then life goes on, we continue with life. So these are part of the things that are life and the strength giving here.
That's interesting. As you said, that each consecrated person is meant to bring hope to discouraged hearts. I hope all the congregations or whatever, men and female, they work towards that. How did you find out in Franciscan Sisters?
It's a long story and a little bit, I don't know to say, but I can say, back from the beginning, when I was saying I got my vocation from my sickness and treatment from the sisters, in fact, those sisters was a congregation of the Cotolengo sisters, not even Franciscans. After I finished my primary school education, I went to a secondary school that was under the diocese of Meru. Meru is one of the dioceses here in Kenya, in the Eastern Province. As I was studying there, we used to get once in a while sisters coming to do vocation promotion in the school, and then these other seed magazines they could send. And it's from there I got the address of these sisters, the Franciscan Missionary Sisters of Assisi. Then I wrote my application. I didn't know much of their life or who they were. I just saw the address and I wrote my application. I was accepted. After school, I lived some time with the sisters. That's when I learned about the life of the Franciscan Missionary Sisters of Assisi. And that's how I found myself in this congregation. After school, I went for my formation in Zambia, where I did my initial formation postulants in novitiate for 4 years. And after my profession, I came back to Kenya.
That's interesting. Before I met you, I thought maybe you were Zambia. I came to discover that you are a Kenyan later. So, having said this, that every person has some people you can admire or can consider as a role model. For you, do you have any role model in this life? Those people have nurtured into you this zeal of vocation or the zeal of mission?
Okay, I can say one of the models that I got was the vocation promoter that I found in the Franciscan Missionary Sisters of Assisi at that particular time. Okay, this sister, she impressed me, or I got really attracted to her, to the life, because of our prayer life. Every time after lunch, you could see the sister goes to the chapel. She's there kneeling for quite some time. And even after supper, every morning you go to the chapel, she was the first sister you find there kneeling and praying. And from there, I really got much attracted to this sister, to the example in prayer of this sister. And then after reading the life history of St. Francis of Assisi, that time when I was in the formation, as I joined, I didn't really know much about Francis, about the Franciscans. But after reading his life history and being explained of in the formation, how he lived, he was brought up in a well-to-do family, and he was ready to live the joyful life that he was living with the parents and the family, and embracing the life of sacrifice, the life of poverty, and the life of self-giving to other people. So this really, apart from the other models, this really attracted me very much. And currently also I am very much also attracted and challenged by Pope Francis himself, a great man of prayer, a great man of action, and very sensitive to like what takes place in the whole world, not in the religious life, in the church, in the world at large. Because every time you hear him calling the people of God to treat the nature world, to befriend Mother Earth, every time calling people to stand and be for peace, or to be peaceful people, and this have been really been like, for me, a great model of religious life and true Christianity.
That's interesting to hear your story. So there is a Chinese known as Matrona. He said that a cheap origin is better than a costly imitation. What do you miss home? That surrendering or being detached from home. Sometimes you can miss something like that. If I was home, I should be this. For you, what do you miss about home?
No, I don't think, because I've enjoyed the religious life. It's almost 20 years now since I left home. A few times I have I could say I miss just my family, but though with this time, the world now with with the media, with the communication, having been made easier, I talk to them, we share, we laugh, and I can't say I've really much more to miss home, but the fact that so far my community, my religious family has become even more closer than the biological family. The fact that it's a couple of years since I left my home.
You minded me of Francis who said that a good family, religious families, is a near heaven. Reminded me very well. For you, how do you spend your life day after day? Being busy at work, community programs, for you, do you find your personal time? How do you spend it?
Okay, I can say, because I trust and I believe that I can do nothing on my own and with my own strength, and the fact that most of the days and hours of the day I spend at Marist University because of my apostolate. Every time I wake up, I take some time early in the morning when I know I'm fresh, I've nothing distractive so far. Then I have my personal prayers early in the morning. Sometimes I begin by 5 or shortly before 5, before we begin the community prayer. The community prayer which we have at 5:45. So before we begin that community prayer, I already have had done my personal prayer and personal meditation. Then it's from there I ask for the graces, the strength that I need for the day. I also offer the people that I'm going to serve that day. And the other people, sometimes I give the medicines, yes, I I treat, yes, but the greatest healer is God Himself. So for those that I treat, I always learn to present them to God Himself as the greatest healer. So these are the time, like when I have this time, my personal prayer, that's when then I pray for these people. And after the community prayer in the morning, we have the community mass at 6:45. And after mass, I have breakfast and I come to Maris for my apostolist. Nourished both the spirit and body, because after the mass, then I have my breakfast and I come to Maris. I work up to 1 o'clock, I break for lunch, 2 o'clock, again I resume and I break off at 5 p.m. When I go home, then I join the community again for the evening prayers, during prayer, supper, and the other community activities at that time.
Yeah, your life is very tight and programmed in such a way that there is no enough free time. You can say that let me maybe takes years due to work. And you are silly, that is all about sacrifice.
Yes.
So
My siesta is, if I'm not very much carried up on Saturday, Sunday, but mostly on Sunday.
yeah, that's good. What shaped your life in this religious life?
I can say what shaped my life is my initial preparation from home by my parents, my family. I'm born and brought up in a Catholic family, and when we were young, every time we wake up, mom, dad, whoever is here, always encouraged us that as you wake up, you thank God that you have slept and woken up safe. Okay? And then we pray, and then before anything else, we had to pray. When it's on Sunday, we could go for either mass or the Bible service in the outstation, and my parents really, I can't say planted a seed of prayer and learning to recognize God in my life. And this is the one, as I left home, this is the one which carried me all along and continues to carry me. That I need to pray, I need to entrust everything that I have to do in the hands of God. And every time I also need to thank Him for the graces, for the blessings bestowed on me. And I think this is the one which has carried me along today, and that which continues to carry me along.
That's very good. You said in the beginning that the prayer is where you fetch the strength to keep you going on, to be able to accomplish what's supposed to be done during the day. Can you share with us a prayer or a song mostly you like to pray?
The one I like is the prayer of St. Francis, the prayer for peace.
Our Lord, immerse me the spirit of peace.
Yes, that's the one we can say. I don't know if you wish me to pray it or...
Yes, you can pray it. You can share to our audience.
Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is discord, faith.
That's interesting. Even myself, I like this prayer so much. So you know, also there is one guy from China also. It's called known as Van Trapp. He said, "Please think about your legacy because you are writing it in every day. For you, what legacy would you like to leave behind?"
The legacy I would like to leave behind is that I do whatever I can in the best way and when I can, okay, and in the best way. I say like this, you see, as I was saying from the beginning, how I discovered my vocation through the love, the care, and the wholeheartedness that the sisters were serving me with. Imagine if I was going, when I was sick, they just treat me anyhow. There is nothing that could have touched me in that, because they could treat like anybody else treats. But you see, that love, that passion they were giving, they were treating me with, did not only cure me or help me to be cured physically, but it planted a seed in me also of having a vocation, that of saying I would wish to become like them because of how they were doing things. So I always want to say, when I have to do something, I do it in the best way I can. Like, that is the only chance that I have. I am doing this, I'm not sure if I will be there tomorrow. I'm doing this, I don't know if I will be there the day after tomorrow. So I do it in the best way I can, and with all my strength that I have at that particular time, all the energies, and with all the love that I can.
That is wonderful. So there is a Canadian Trojan. She was a sister, she's normal. She said that I have drunk in the deep of religious life, and I will taste no other wine tonight. And there are the young ones who are listening to us, those who are across this conversation. You can tell them about something religious life, especially those who are in search of their vocation, to join any form of religious life.
What I could tell the young ones, God is still calling people. You see, in our world today, there are religious men, the religious women, and the priests. They are there today, they are young, tomorrow they get old. When there is need for some others to come and take over and continue this mission. So those who are listening, it's good also, apart from thinking of the married life, the family life, or even single life, to put also into consideration the vocation into religious life, the vocation into priesthood, that the Lord is still calling, the Lord is still needs the young ones who will continue the mission that is there for tomorrow. And wishing you all God's blessings and all the best.
I hope they get your message. Do you have any last remark you want to pass across to our audience? Any remark you feel you can give to people who will follow this conversation? I know people from all over the world are following us.
Do everything that you are doing in the best way and with love.
You have said it very well. Give everything you do in the best. To our audience, I was together with Sister Elizabeth. She has been in this life for more than 20 years. And we thank you very much for being accompanied to us. And when you are safe, you participate to share your life experience. I don't take it granted. Thank you very much, and may God continue to equip you the grace you need to carry this journey.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure to be with you. And God's blessings as well as you continue with your studies and in your religious vocation.
Thank you very much. To our audience, thank you very much for following us. Today we're together with Sister Elizabeth. She's a nurse in Maris Clinic. Maris, the university, founded the Maris Brothers of the Schools 1986. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. See you next time.
In my memories I know how you sent familiar rains, falling gently on my days, dancing patterns on my pain. And I need to learn once more in the fortress of my mind to believe in falling rain as I travel deserts dry. So I leave my boats behind, leave them on familiar shores, set my heart upon the deep, follow you again, my Lord. So I leave my boats behind, leave them on familiar shores, and the future of my years. I'm not sure I want to talk past horizons that I know, but I feel my spirit call like a stirring deep within. Restless till I live again, beyond the fears that close me in. So I leave my boats behind